Welcome to Archery Talk 101 podcast, your guide to better archery skills. We'll bring you the latest tips, tricks, and expert advice, but that's not all. We'll also have interviews with top archers and industry professionals and reviews of the latest gear and equipment and much more. Once it starts. Hey, if you wanted to know what's going on outdoors, well, we have a special guest with us here. He has the YouTube channel Southern Bonez Outdoor. My name is Roy Canterbury, and I'm going to be your host on Archery Talk 101. And I have Chris on the line from Southern Bonez Outdoors. How you doing, Chris?
Pretty good, man. How are you?
So I want to know a little bit more about yourself first, and just tell us something about what's going on in your world.
Well, I got in the hunting industry a couple years ago, kind of crawling our way into the hunting industry. We started a YouTube channel up about 5 years ago called Southern Bonez Outdoors. And with that, we've kind of slowly but steady have grown. We ended up gaining a lot of subscribers this past year, getting hooked up with some different sponsors and stuff like that. So like I said, yeah, just slowly but surely growing. We all started out hunting in urban areas in Atlanta before that was popular. And now everybody's doing it. So it's kind of
Yeah.
Somebody let the cat out of the bag. Leo's.
Yeah, when you find a good unique place and then you start doing it and everybody else finds it, hey, that's a good place, let me do it.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
So the YouTube channel is called Southern Bonez Outdoors, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll go. What is the URL for your YouTube channel?
Southern Bonez Outdoors.
Just Southern Bonez Outdoors. Okay.
Yep.
I'm just trying to bring it up here, and we'll show our guests what it looks like. If I can type the right number. Oh well. Yeah, I just type it in the chat, and then I'll connect to it, and there's all kinds of different ways you can get to a YouTube channel, and
right.
But anyway, in the meantime here, why and how did you get started in archery?
Man, I've been doing archery. My uncle, actually, he's actually one of our guys in Southern Bonez. He actually was teaching my cousins archery, and then I ended up kind of watching from the background, and then ended up getting into it myself with him, and he taught me pretty much everything I know about archery. And then I would say I was about 12 when that started, and I've kind of just grew up doing it. I've shot many archery tournaments and all of that stuff, even though I think I was 21. No, I was about 20 when I first killed my first deer. So even though I hunted, I hunted really hard to try to do that. I actually ended up killing a bear in Georgia before I killed my first deer.
Oh,
yeah. But
yeah.
I mean, I've done it all my life. I would say I'm relatively decent at it. Not a professional by no means, but yeah, it's just something I always have enjoyed. I've tried, I've shot many different bow brands. I'm kind of a gear junkie, if you will. I love trying new things and all of that stuff. It's just something that I've always enjoyed. I've got a spot right out here behind my house that I can literally just walk through some double doors and go shoot my bow, and I shoot a lot. So yeah, pretty much that's it. It was my uncle. He was the one that got me there.
Yeah, you never know what part of your family is going to get you into hunting. As my my cousin got me really into hunting, more in the pheasant and stuff like that. And it wasn't until later that I got into archery for deer. And a buddy of mine, we want to do archery for deer, and we're out there. We started off with, hey, if we seen a print in the dirt, it was a good day.
Right.
Yeah, forget about finding a deer, and then it finally got to, getting more and more, and depending on the spot, then you expect to at least see them every day. May not get a shot, but expect to see them. And
Right.
I
Yeah.
have, let me go ahead and share my screen for those not listening on Spotify, those that are watching either on my YouTube channel or live. Here is uh, your site.
Yep.
And you can kind of tell us a bit something about it as we're here. Looks like you got quite a few videos out there already.
Yeah. So, like you said, that's the site there. That top video right there, that is actually Kai Sewell. He's one of our guys. He shot a really nice 10-point buck in a subdivision in Atlanta. You can see if you actually look down just a little bit further, you see that's him right off to your left there. The Big 10, that's him. That's that video. Yeah, so that's a really nice buck in the city of Atlanta.
Oh
Really
yeah.
love that video style. That's kind of something I've been working on. I've been trying to bring a video that everybody enjoys, and I've worked with different styles, from storytelling to hype video, and trying to do all these different things, trying to put multiple different hunts in one video. I've tried so many different things to see what everybody likes. And that video I have heard great things about. So I believe that that's kind of the style we're going to go with. But over the past 5 years, when you're trying to be a content creator, you deal with the ups and downs, and you're trying to figure out what everyone likes, because that's the goal, is to be able to share what everyone, or share your content with everybody, and it brings something that they want to watch. Yeah. So we, if you actually was to go back and look at our beginning videos, we've come a long way.
Oh, yeah, you're
um,
not the only one. I started creating videos about 2 years ago, and the style of videos. My YouTube channel is not specific for one; it's learn to fix it yourself. So I have all kinds of different stuff on there, and some of my first videos you can kind of see I didn't really know what I was doing, and now I use a program to edit them, and I can filter out. It's like, okay, I need to cut out this word. Sometimes you go, it's like well, I can just clip it all out.
right.
you
Right.
know and all kinds of video production on it. And yeah, it goes a long ways. And um I've got over 500 videos out there now, and all kinds of things. You never know what people are going to want to look at.
Right. Yeah. I
you
mean, you
know
never know. That's why we don't just stick to deer hunting. We do bear, deer, turkey, fishing. We pretty much everything that's in our logo there. We try to bring to the table, and show different kind of hunts. And we're just good old country boys, man. We're good old country boys from North Georgia. We real easy to get along with. We've got 10 guys that are in our crew, ages ranging from 18 to I think 55. So we can hit a very diverse, different age range of people, to somebody that somebody can relate to. Um, we just partnered up recently with Obsession Bows. We're really thrilled about that. Uh, I just ended up getting a really nice Obsession XBR. I absolutely love that thing. Probably one of the best bows I've ever owned, if not the best bow I've ever owned. And that's not just a plug. That's because I really like the bow.
well, yeah,
uh,
because they're not paying us to promote it on the podcast, but
right. They don't
hey,
pay me for that. It's a really great bow.
well, And you know, we're not really you know, being paid to promote anything. We're promoting what we like.
Oh yeah, and
Um,
that's one of the things about Southern Bones is that that's something that people can relate to. We're not getting paid to promote anything. Um, we do promote some different brands, but those are all things that we absolutely love, like JX3 hybrid tree saddles, fire in the hole broadheads, which if you haven't, I will honestly say, if you haven't checked out either one of those products, definitely do it. Desperado, Game Sense, all of these different companies, they're not giving me money to do this. I'm promoting their product because I believe in it. And not only that, but that kind of was going to lead me into what else I wanted to talk to you about was with all of those products, you can actually earn what we call big game bucks. And that is part of a company called Thrill of the Outdoors. I mentioned something to you about it the other day when we spoke on Facebook. Thrill of the Outdoors is a company that is bringing Urban Archery Outfitters, and Thrill of the Outdoors is actually bringing to the hunting industry the first national reward point program that's out there in the industry, outdoor industry, whatever you say. People will be able to purchase products, watch hunting related videos, watch advertisements, um, go to trade shows, all of these different stuff, and they'll earn reward points and then be able to use those reward points on our app and be able to book hunts all over the country
oh, that sounds really cool.
without paying extra cash. So it's like leasing a property for a weekend or leasing going on a fishing trip, maybe with a fishing charter or something like that, using reward points and like almost like Sky Miles, but for the hunting and
Right.
outdoor industry. So that is something we're really excited about. We're going to be at the we were at the Great American Outdoor Show in Virginia, or Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Sorry, I said that wrong. And we will be at the World Deer Expo in July in Alabama. So we got a big booth. Come by, sign up, get a hunter profile, and we're going to have like a cornhole little toss, so you can toss a bing bag, get it in the hole, get like 5,000 big game bucks just for doing so. So really cool stuff with that. I actually became the media director for that company, and Southern Bones Outdoors is kind of the head film team for that company. So we'll be filming some hunts on certain properties, just advertising, this is what you guys can do. It's never been done before. It is growing like a weed, but we're still in that building phase. So we're still,
Right.
it's going to take a little while to get it all the bugs worked out and everything figured out. The app is currently being built, and it'll be ready. At least the beta test of the app will be ready to go by July. But we're just trying to spread the word about it, let everybody know this is what's coming, because we've already have such an amazing list of vendors, like Nose Down Scents, different scent companies, Desperado,
Right.
JX3. I'm not going to go through the whole list. There's a lot.
Yeah.
But they can, we're going to have all of that stuff at the show. People will be able to come in. And like I said, they'll be able to earn reward points by visiting people's booths in certain trade shows, or heck, even just coming to the trade shows in the first place. So that all of that is really cool. And we're hoping to get started. People can earn reward points just for listening to your podcast. It's that easy. So like I said, they'll be able to turn around and use those reward points to book properties in Tennessee and Illinois and Georgia and Alabama and all of this different stuff. Like, so if you got that weekend where you had to go visit the in-laws, and they just happen to live in Illinois or Missouri or wherever, and you can make that dreaded trip turn into a dream hunt, without having to pay extra cash, so your wife doesn't kill you. So
Yeah. Now, if somebody wanted to contact, is there a way they can contact you now?
yeah, You can give me a call at, I've got my phone number, and everything is actually on our Facebook page. It will connect you to my personal phone number. And if you go to urbanarcheryoutfitters.com, my contact list is there as well. Media director Chris Cannon. And also, where else? I can put my phone number on here as well. It doesn't matter. Or you can reach me at chris@urbanarcheryoutfitters.com email address. But yeah, so I wanted to share that with you because I feel like that's very exciting.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people don't know about it yet, and that's why we want to share. I want everybody to know about this because this is possibly going to be the next. I hate to say these words because I feel like it's a cliche at this point, but it's the next biggest thing in the hunting and outdoor industry, because it's not just about hunting. It's fishing, camping, hiking, snowboarding, skiing, you name it. If you can do it outside, we're going to be part of it. So
Yeah, that sounds like something to be real interesting, and let's get back together and get something a little closer, and let's do some promoting, because this sounds like it's a really good opportunity to connect in with other hunters. And it's not just archery, it's gun hunting, fishing, pretty much an outdoor sport, because there's a lot of those archers also have guns.
right.
You know.
Yeah, I have guns. I just don't hunt with them. Southern Bones Outdoors is mainly. We have posted a couple of gun hunts this past season because, like I said, our team grew this past year, and we try to bring a little bit of everything. Mostly though, we are a bow hunting show. But like I said, there's a few gun hunts on there.
Well, that's good. That's good. I'll make sure I leave some links in the description, how to get
Yeah.
a hold of you. So that'll be in with the podcast there. And then when I do my YouTube channel post, I'll have the links in there so they can get a hold of you. And, in the group, if they want to get a hold of you, they can just message you right in there and say, hey, I want some more information, and go from there.
Oh
So,
yeah, for sure. For
so
sure, man.
we'll get this out. This sounds like it'd be real exciting to be involved in, and a good promotion for the sport. And whether you're a beginning archer that's thinking about starting in archery,
Oh yes.
there's something
Yes.
for you.
Because the thing, what we're also trying to do with this process is not only open up more opportunities for hunters, but pull a lot of those hunters off of the public lands, man, because public land is getting very hard to hunt.
Right.
You have so many people that they can't get permission anywhere else, so that's where they go, is public land. And then you have hunters sitting on top of other hunters, and it's just kind of, in a lot of places, it's ridiculous. I mean, you got hunters fighting over spots. Well, this is a way to reward the hunters and the outdoorsmen reward them for doing what they're already doing. For, like I said, watching those hunting related videos, watching advertisements that different companies, they seem to pop up every 5 minutes.
Right.
On a hunting show. Now you'll be able to earn reward points just for watching those. And who knows, it might be a commercial that I did. So you're welcome. But but no, I mean, that's kind of our biggest thing is pulling it off of the public land and bringing it back towards private land. I can't really say the word lease because it's not really a lease. It's just kind of like rights to a property for a short period of time. It's not really like an Airbnb. That was kind of our style when we first started. And then we kind of formed and morphed a little bit as we've progressed, and realized that the reward points is really the answer, is not having to pay extra money just to be able to go hunt a spot, or and calling in a hunting trip. Like the Southern Bones crew, a few of us take a trip every year to Illinois, and we hunt for a week, all day sits. Yeah, like
Yeah.
all day sits. Don't matter the weather, we're in the stand. Um, but you know, so we consider that a hunting trip, and we know that there's many other hunters out there that enjoy those trips and maybe can't afford leases in Illinois to the only go, they're paying $5,000 to only be able to hunt 1 week out of the whole year. This will be able to, you'll be able to book that 1 week with a property with using those reward points. So like I said, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that sounds like it. That's going to be a real interesting to see how that develops into, we're most, I can see it morphing into a really big deal, and that everybody's trying to get into it. And because I can see it on both ends for the hunters, because that's an advantage. And I can see for the person that supplies information, it's like, okay, how can I get in there and get these people coming in there, because it's going to promote their business, or their whatever they have. And
Yeah, it's going to promote small businesses. Like I said, anybody holding reward points, as far as like manufacturers, retail stores, all of these different archery, people, or heck, anybody in the outdoor industry. Like I said, it's not just for hunting, but it will drive business back to them. They get marketing through us, and we do have an e-commerce page. So that's currently being built. Everything's still in the building phases, but we did launch we pretty much let the world know what we were doing back at the ATA show this past year. And we're just still steady building. But slowly but surely we will get there.
get the, basically what they say is the minimum viable product. Get something out that's working. May not have all the bells and whistles you want, but one thing, get it working, and then you start adding features.
Yes.
Yes. Get something going, and it's like, okay, I get the program set up, and then people sign up. Whether you're a hunter or supplier.
Right. Our biggest thing has been, honestly, I would say investors, because we are so new and we are trying to build something so unique. Trying to get the finances to build something so complex has been not really a struggle, but it's been a slow boat. We want to try to get the word out there so that our investors see, hey, this is worth doing. That way that we can, instead of maybe crawling a little bit, maybe we can stand up and walk a little more. But regardless, it's coming. So it's, like I said, it's just spreading the word. That's the main thing. Spreading the word to manufacturers, spreading the word to the consumers, everybody that can hear about it, listen up. This is coming. Thrill of the Outdoors, Urban Archery Outfitters. It's coming, and it's going to be amazing.
Yeah, it sounds like, and just get enough people signing up that want to do it, and then enough people signing up that has services to offer.
Right.
And then you can see, okay, I have all these companies that want to offer services to the hunters, and all these hunters now, then that's going to look better, and say, okay, here, investor, I've got X amount of people that want to offer services to the hunters that get these points. And here's what you got to do to get it. Like you said, just watch all these videos or attend these events.
Right. And that's I heard at the Pennsylvania show, a lot of people said, well, that sounds a little bit too good to be true. And it's not. I promise you, we are putting in a lot of work just to make this not too good to be true. I hear that. I've actually heard that so many times where they're going, well, what's in it for you? What's in it for me is to be in the hunting industry. That's my dream. Are you kidding me? This is what I get to do for work every day. Yes, this is what I want to do. So, yeah, I mean, I've that kind of, I've heard that so much of, well, that sounds too good to be true. That something, what's the catch? There is no catch. There is no catch. I mean, we literally go through this every day. It's something that I'm constantly working on. The boss, I say the boss, the the CEO of the company, Stephen Shepard, he is constantly every day on the work. We have weekly meetings to go over every little nook and cranny over this thing. So yeah, it's a really great concept. It's a really great idea, and it's going to work.
Well, the only catch that I can see is you're not going to get a free trip if you don't put the work in.
Exactly.
It's like, okay, I want a free trip, but no, I don't want to watch all these videos. I don't want to go there. I just want the free trip. No, you're not getting a free trip. You got to put the
Right.
work in.
Well, here's one free trip that they actually could do. Right now we've got a founding member club card. So as we're starting to grow, we issued out a founding member club card. It's a gold card. Well, it's actually we're going to do a digital. It's going to be on your app, so you'll be a gold card member, and it'll earn you double reward points for the rest of your life, and also comes with a monster buck wild card. That is pretty much like a trump all card, because all of these points you'll have to bid during a bid week to when a certain property is going to open up. So let's say November 1st, or let's say November 5th, property, I'm going to relate back to Illinois. A property in Illinois opens up for this amount of days. When that bid week comes, you'll start bidding your reward points that you've earned. If you don't win, you keep your reward points. So there's no issue of there's no worry that you're going to lose all your stuff. But if you have that trump all card, that monster buck wild card, you win. Like that's your free hunt, and it works one time. It's a trump all. We'll have cameras on all of the properties that we have all over the country. The properties that we will be able to bait, or states that we can bait, we will have bait stations so that you guys can actually see what's on those properties. And then when that bid week comes and you've been watching so-and-so property and watching this deer, and you're ready, you think he's going to be there this week, you can set it up, you can start your bid process and go after that buck of a lifetime. Like I said, we've got properties from urban to rural, and we're growing every day. So properties all over the place, and like I said, growing. But it's kind of gamifying a little bit of a way to get that trip of a lifetime, that hunt of your choice, and get to go hunt and have exclusive rights to properties wherever you want them, wherever you want to go. That's what the goal is.
Just pick a place and go and figure it out. Yeah.
Right. So it's like I said, I don't want to beat a dead horse, but it's a really cool ordeal. And if anybody wants to get signed up, they can literally go to urbanarcheryoutfitters.com, fill out a hunter profile. They can also join the Urban Archery Outfitters LLC Facebook group, and Urban Archery Outfitters Facebook group. They can, if they go in there and refer someone after signing up for a hunter profile, and they refer someone, and that person names them as the referral, they'll get 1,000 big game bucks instantly. So like I said, everything's gamifying, and you can earn the points very easy. So it's not something you want to miss out on. Now that that's all out of the
way. Yeah. Well, it's good information. It's something that we may not know about, and hey, let's let's let the people know. And we have people all over the world, and in archery. And now, would somebody outside of the United States be able to book a hunt as well?
That is something we are working on. But yes, I mean, anybody that will download the app, let's say that they're coming to the States, as long as they have all their legal documentation, yes, they'll be able to book a hunt.
Okay. Well, that's good, because there's people all over the world that, would probably, like to book a hunt and come in, and, this way they know they have a spot, instead of showing up and say, well, start knocking on doors. And lots of times, somebody from foreign country coming in, they may not, get on property. In this way, hey, those that want to do it, definitely would be able to get in and, have a place to go and know that there's something. It's easier to get visas when it's like, okay, I have permission to go hunt here. I'm going to hunt here.
Right. Right. And that's, I mean, you're absolutely right. I mean, you'll be able to, hopefully they'll be able to do that. But like you said, it's kind of, we're doing this kind of campaign of, man, I haven't fully blown done it yet, but it's no hashtag no more door knocking.
Oh, yeah.
so it's supposed to allow you to do that. So as far as if a hunter comes in from out of states, like I said, as long as he's got his documentation and he's earned his reward points, he should be able to book a property, no problem.
Yeah. Hey, if you want to put in the chat, then I'll bring up that site, to sign up. Go ahead and put it in the chat, and that way I make sure you get spelled right, because spell it wrong, they don't link up very well.
Right. Let me see here.
Yeah, there's a lot of good information. The Arch Talk 101 Facebook group that I started is all about, helping archers get started. And, you having problems or questions, your forms, I think you're something wrong with your form, upload a video and record it and upload it. And, we'll take a look at it and, see what's going on. The same thing, you have trouble with your bow, upload it. We've got bow techs in the group. We've got instructors in the group. I've been an instructor since 1995. So I've taught hundreds of people how to shoot. So there's always something out here, and something like this is kind of exciting, that, what you got going on with this.
Oh yeah. And also for the listeners, if you check out Southern Bones Outdoors, we do a lot of tips and trick videos. Anything like we can do to help. I've actually coached many different people getting into hunting. A friend of mine I'll be actually posting this video. Not our next, but our following video will be a little bit of a hunt that I did with a friend of mine who just got into bow hunting. He shot 2 deer in one day. Absolute, he was just ecstatic. And then, yeah, so I mean we do those tips and trick videos. We'll try to give as much. Jimmy Sewell, my uncle, he actually, like I said, the one that taught me everything. He does a lot of, he's a bow tech, and he will teach you whatever you need to know. So if you leave comments, hey, how do you do this? We'll make a video just to show you how to do that. Also, I just had a brain wipe, man. I just forgot exactly what I was about to say, and I apologize.
I do that every once in a while. You're talking, it's like thinking something else. It's like, what was I talking about? Because I thought I went off a different path,
Yeah, I'm ADD, brother. So sometimes I'm just here, there, and everywhere, and it's just like, okay, calm down now.
Yeah, I kind of get the same way, being engineer. We're always thinking about different things, and it's like, okay, let's stay focused.
Right.
Okay, but what if this here's this, and same thing. We look at it, archery is like, well, if I do this and do this, well, what happens if I do this? And then you never get anything done, because you're always tweaking this stuff. And I try not to do that. I try to get them set up working, and then leave it alone.
I believe I remembered what it was now. We will be doing a tricked out bow of the week videos coming soon. It'll be on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And what we're doing is we're just going to show people's passion for their bows, man. Like, I've got a decked out bow, so I like to show mine off. And it's going to be a way that, everybody's got these color schemes and all this different stuff. So we're going to do some videos coming soon where it's tricked out bow of the week. And if you tune in, you can actually send your stuff over and make a video and be on the show where you're talking about your bow and why you did what you did to it. So we love, like I said, I know my uncle is the same way. We love decked out bows. Like I want the best, what I think, color schemes and all this stuff is just, yeah, it's kind of like a trick my ride, but a tricked out bow of the week. So tune in for those, because those are going to be fun.
Yeah, those would be interesting. I know when I worked at Bass Pro, this one guy come in and he got a crossbow and he decked it out. There's a couple of quivers on there, and so he's got all kinds of bolts with him, and he just kind of definitely unique crossbow
Right.
setup.
Yeah. Yeah. It'll be fun. We'll of course we're going to show off our obsessions, but you know, if you got a Hoyt or a Matthews or whatever, make sure that you send it in, because you can do that. You can send it to us on Instagram or Facebook, and we'll post it up. We'll post a video of you talking about it. And like I said, we just look forward to it. We're looking for something fun to do that's interactive with our viewers. And we believe that people will like to tune in to see that. So, because a lot of people spend a lot of time with their bows, man.
Yeah,
It's almost like an intimate thing.
yeah, it is.
I mean, I spend more time with my bow than I think I do my woman. So
No,
don't let her hear me say
yeah.
that.
Don't
Honey, if you're
don't let her
listening
watch
to this, I was just playing.
Yeah, I know. Mine's definitely not tricked out. I have my hunting bow's a 2001 PSE, and my target bow is another. It's actually a hunting bow, but it's set up more for target because it's set up to shoot field tips, and it's a 2003 PSE, and you know it's tricked out.
Right.
I have a drop away rest on that one.
Okay. You're living it big, bro.
Yeah.
No,
At
yeah,
least,
yeah, I don't know. My bow scheme right now, if you actually look on our TikTok, I do a couple of videos with my bow, and it's like it's kind of like the color scheme of right here. It's the American flag in uh black and white, and then I've got red accessories on it, so it's kind of like the thin red line. Um, my cousin's bow's the same, only his is like the thin blue line, so kind of supporting our police and fire department, but repping them up for them. But yeah, I love it. So I was able to, once again, I'm not getting paid for this, but obsession allows you to do so many different color schemes that you won't see anyone else have. So I was able to do red cams with the black and white American flag, and it's like, okay, there's no other company out there that gives you that many options to choose with making your bow. So that's one thing obsession has definitely got a leg up on. And they just have, like I said, their newest lineup is just awesome. I've shot every one of them. I fell in love with the XBR. It kind of looks like I don't know. It's just it looks like a raptor to me, but it's just aggressive, and I love it. But yeah. So, anyways, going back to the videos, it's just something we're looking forward to, and that'll be coming up here, possibly about 2 to possibly 3 weeks. So, something to look out for.
yeah, we'll definitely have to look out for it. So Obsession Bows here. Let me go ahead, and for those that get to see it, let me go ahead and share the screen on Obsession Bows. Just you know, we're not promoting, but hey, you know, this, I don't shoot them, I shoot PSE. I was a PSE dealer for a few years, so that's kind of why. But
So that XBR, that's what I have. That thing, that is a nice bow. It almost has, and forgive me for saying this, obsession, but it almost has that kind of Hoyt look to it as far as the backbone there.
right,
That's what I
that
call it, the backbone. But it doesn't shoot like an obsession. It is, or not like a Hoyt. It is very dead in the hand. The draw cycle is super smooth, super smooth. That was one of the back wall of it is very solid. That's just things that I like. The valley is not a harsh
right.
valley. It's just when you're pulling it back, it's just like super easy. And then the next thing you know, you're locked in and you're like, wow. Well, you know, the draw was the first thing I fell in love with. The Nitro Ghost right there, I shot it. It is also very smooth bow, dead in the hand. Very similar to the XVR. I believe the Nitro Ghost is just a tad faster. I'm not 100% on that, but I believe it's just a tad faster than the XVR. And then you have the XR6 and XR7. Those were also really nice bows.
340 IBO speed. A little bit better picture of it. Yeah, that's kind of like Hoyt does on there.
But if you look there, look at all of the different colors. And they actually have more than what they're showing there. You could actually, and soon they're going to have that website. This is their newest website. They're kind of completely redoing the website, so they're going to have more of their colors and stuff on there. But that's a crazy amount of just designs that you can put on your bow already.
Right. Look at all these designs that they have pre-done. There's your stars and stripe one you talked about.
Well, they actually have the stars and stripes in the regular American flag. And then they also have it, any of those, I believe they can do in a grayscale as well. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, let's take a look at the other one. Now they just have those two models of bows then?
No, they actually have that. They actually
go.
also have that came out this year was the XR6 and XR7. Those are, they don't have pictures on the website yet. It would actually be right there where it says 2023.
Yeah,
but
the Ghost is up to 353 feet per second, which the other one was 340.
yeah,
so it can, depending on cams, it can be faster.
Right. And then the XR6, XR7, they don't have the pictures of those yet, but you can actually look on some of our videos. We've shown a little bit of them. But once again, really nice bow, super clean, super smooth draw cycle, fast, just a dead in the hand, solid back wall. I love all of them. I've shot pretty much everyone. I haven't shot the Pro X or any of the bow fishing rigs, but I shot a lot of the bows and I fell in love with the XBR. But that's just because I like that really savage look. That really, I don't know. It's just kind of, it looks very aggressive.
Right. Looks like it's mean.
Yeah.
Now here's the hashtag at 308 feet per second, a 499 bow. Looks like it's a whole kit. So they have something, for the low end, entry level. And then same thing, you have all these different colors, string options. Normally to get these kind of a string options, you have to make your own string or go to a custom string manufacturer. There's a lot more colors than that. I use BCY when I make my strings and cables, and they have tons of colors. When I had my stores making strings, somebody said, what color you want? Black. No, you can't have black string. That's too boring. Pick another color or pick two colors, and then it can be anything. And I've done 3-color strings before. And, for my bow, I did a 3-color string. And I actually did one year for a hunting bow that I braided the strands instead of twisting them.
Mm-hmm.
You take the loops and instead of, just twisting them, I braid them like you would regular braiding, anything else you braid. And that was on the bow for several years.
Oh, wow.
Until it finally broke.
Right.
It's a little bit different because you still have to twist them, but it's a little bit different in how you're setting them up and making the string to make it the right length, because braiding takes more string than regular twisting them. And so you kind of have to figure that out as you're going along and make them long and then twist them to fit the right length.
Right. Yeah, mine is red, white, and black, the string colors on mine. And like I said, the fletchings of my arrows are red, white, and black. It's really cool. I like it.
Well, and when I was looking at making strings for my one bow, I kind of made a whole bunch of different samples of strings there's a pink and purple and blue and tan. Let's see if we can get them here. Blue and tan, black and copper. And you have, reds and blacks. You have copper and black, fluorescent green and fluorescent green and pink. Then here's a fluorescent green and black, and I forget what this is tan and like a mountain berry for that one. So there's a lot of different ones you can do and all kinds of different stuff. I know one time I made one out of red and black for a buddy of mine's, or no, green and red. And the way I did them, I just did the two and I kind of twist them so they form little V's in the string. And that's one way I was able to identify his bow when it ended up getting stolen, showing up in a local archery store. Someone says, I think that's Randy's bow. Yeah, it was. Because it's when PSC come out with their good vibrations pattern on their target bows, and it was whites and silvers and blues and all the little shiny colors, and it showed up at the shop, and I said, yeah, take a look at the string, it's green and red, forms V's. Because normally you don't have V's formed in them. It's like, yeah, I made that string, that's his bow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool that you was able to tell it by the string.
Yeah, because I made the string. That's the advantage of custom making strings. You can do them certain ways, and when you have some of these strings, a lot of times they use like a black end serving, and you can do multiple different colors of center servings and end loops, and you can use different colors, like the halo is a good center serving, and that you have in multiple different colors, so you can have whatever color scheme you want, and nobody else is going to have it, because you go to custom maker, is like, here's how I want it set up.
Right.
You could have a white string and have red and blue on it, and red for the end loops and blue for the middle, or however you wanted to do it.
Right.
Probably white strings kind of have a tendency to get dirty quicker than other colors, but
yeah, they do. I'm hoping that mine don't get filthy. But I'm just going to try my best to keep it clean.
Yeah, it's tough on white, because that just every little color in there is going to change it, and a lot of times you have different colors can bleed from one color to the next color, and
right.
You got to kind of be careful when you're making them too, because you can get them blended that way. Turns your white into gray. Never want a gray. I just started with gray.
Right. Yeah. No, we shot the MAF, the Mountain Archery Fest shoot recently, and it was kind of dry out there. But I started to kind of worry that the dust was gonna stick onto my string, but honestly it didn't. It actually kept it pretty clean. So I was happy about that. Because I don't want my bow dirty. I hate that. Yeah, so anyways, it's like I said, just keeping that string white. That's on my priority list when I go hunting, when I bring it outside.
Yeah, it's a problem using a white string, is they're a little bit harder to keep being white.
Yeah.
Hey, you deal with it, and it gets too dirty, then put a new one on.
Right. Yeah. It's not going to be the end of the world for sure.
No. And the deer don't care.
No, the deer don't care what my bow looks like. That's for sure. I think they more worry about what I look like. I hunt a lot of urban areas. I keep constantly saying I think I'd have more luck if I just went out in my regular clothes than I would in my camouflage.
Yeah, because you look different than everybody else that's out there.
Right. I mean they're urban. They're used to subdivisions. They're used to people in subdivisions, people out in their yards, people cutting their grass, and they're in regular clothes, so they don't really fear those people. But it seems like I've went out to maybe put corn out or something like that, and see deer just kind of walk off from me, but they don't run. They don't blow. They just see me and I'm in my regular clothes and they just turn around and come on as soon as I leave, uh, according to trail cameras. But then it's like I go out in my camouflage and I'm thinking they're going, what in the world is that? Like, I'm
Yeah.
out of here. Nah, I knew the other guy was a human, but I don't know what that is. That tree's moving.
Yeah. Well, I just come across the reel this morning. They were out with their two dogs walking down this trail, and a deer was just standing there. And the dogs start off rolling in the leaves, and they just start moving closer. Deer didn't care. They just kind of moseyed around, looked at them, went down to eat. So here's the person walking with a camera and two dogs, and the deer
Right.
don't care. So
I think deer are one of the most amazing adaptive animals, and they have to constantly adapt to us humans. So I think they just get to the point of curiosity killed the cat in some cases.
yeah,
They don't, they want to know what that is. And a deer is a very curious creature anyways. I mean, I think half the time any deer that comes to a grunt call is just curious to know what in the world that sound was. Um, I mean, I'm a smoker, and there has been times where I smoke in the tree stand, and I've I've watched deer come from downwind straight up, smelling the air, and I'm going, um, you're not supposed to come to that smell. Get out of here. uh,
actually, a friend of mine when he used to smoke, he was out and he was smoking and he had just put his cigarette out, and next thing you know, just a few minutes later, this buck comes walking in.
yeah. There for the longest time, I said that I only shoot the dumb animals, only shoot dumb deer. And buddy of mine, when one of the guys I was teaching how to hunt, he says, he's like, what do you mean you only shoot the dumb deer? I was like, dude, I smoke in the stand a lot of times and when I'm in urban areas. Uh, so the fact that a deer is hanging around me with the smell of cigarette, he's dumb. he's he's not very smart. He didn't make good life decisions. So yeah, so I always tell him I shoot the dumb ones. So
You never know, it's what they're used to. You get out someplace where they're not used to humans, and at least a little scent and they're gone.
yeah,
They blow and they're in the next county, and and you get in the urban areas, like you're hunting some urban areas, they're used to people.
right.
I know one of the places I used to hunt a long time ago, it was a campground, so it was one of the Nebraska's parks that you could hunt deer, hunt archery, and or shotgun for birds. And there people be walking around all over, and they seem to not really care too much. But once you get out there hunting, then they learn real quick.
Right. Yeah,
It's hunting season.
that smell means danger.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
um,
in the summertime, there's a lot of people, and when it's hunting season, there's no people around really, because the only
right,
ones out there now are hunters, and then they learn, hey, these people are going places that they normally don't go.
right, right, exactly. Yeah, I like I said, I travel to Illinois every year and we go and hunt. And we do hunt some public land out there. And honestly, I've smoked in the stand because I'm out there all day. But one thing I have noticed, my uncle actually taught me this, was get high, like not get high, but get high up in the tree. Um, he told me that I don't smoke while I'm on the ground. I don't smoke walking to my stand or away from my stand. Um, but when I get up higher in the tree, I've noticed that I'm scared of heights, brother. I ain't gonna lie to you. I get up there and that wind starts blowing. You're looking down, going, "Oh no!" I do
Yeah.
always wear your safety harness, but no, I'm still a little scared even with that. Um, but he said get higher up in the tree, and once I started doing that, I used to go about 20 foot up. Now I go about 30 foot up, 40 foot up. and the highest I can possibly go. And I have noticed a massive difference in the amount of deer I was seeing and the quality of deer I was seeing. I went from seeing the dumb deer to starting to see the smart ones, the bigger bucks. And so I don't know, I kind of have to suck it up sometimes and get up there. Even though you're in the dark, you're climbing a tree and it's pitch black darkness, and you get up and you're like, you turn around and you go, well, I think I'm high enough. It's took me a while to get up here, and daylight comes and you're 5 foot off the ground and you're like, okay. But you're you're only like 20 foot up and you're like, man, I gotta go up higher. Like this is I'm still in this scent window. Like I feel like if there's a certain brace point to where the I don't know, maybe the wind just hits differently. It blows over their head versus, blows towards the ground towards them. I've dealt with less deer blowing at me, not spooking many deer at all, and had more success since I started getting higher up. So that was just facing the fear and getting up there, but it's working. So that was a good little tip for all you guys.
Yeah, well, when you think about it, the wind's blowing, it's not blowing down, it's blowing across normally. So if your scent's 30 feet up, by the time your scent hits the ground, it's dissipated so much because it spreads out. So the concentration is lower by the time it finally gets down to their nose. So that it's going to be a lot less, when you kind of think about, you know, if you send out a mist, what's it do? It don't take long and it's dispersed. The
Right.
same thing with your scent. So I can see
Yeah.
how but it does make some difficult shots when they come in close to you.
Yeah. And one thing I have seen, one thing I did some little testing last year. Uh, I was trying to learn thermals, and I always hear people like Mark Drury talk about thermals and stuff like that. And I'm sitting here going, man, I ain't ever heard of that stuff. Um, so I live in Chattanooga and I hunt a lot more farmland than I do North Georgia, where it's more urban. We're about 30, 40 minutes north of Atlanta. So I hunt a lot around Atlanta. Um, and what I've noticed was when you get up in those countryside, you have to start worrying about your thermals and your scent levels and all of that stuff. I would do little tests, whether it be with a spray bottle, or it would be even with a cigarette. I'd watch the smoke, and first thing in the morning, I would notice that smoke is rising up, and later in the evening, I'd watch that smoke would be going down. And I'm like, I wonder if the thermals has anything to do with that. I don't know the answer. It's just something I've been noticing. Would be first thing in the morning. That smell is going, that smoke is rising up towards treetops, and then evenings it's right. It's kind of slowly it would travel down towards the ground, and I'm like, I wonder if that's kind of how thermals work. There is the morning it goes up, and then the evenings it goes down. Somebody might could comment, let me know, but just for sure. But it's something that I've been kind of trying to learn is that thermals, because once you hunt mountainous areas, that's kind of where I've always hunted mountains, and it's almost, I don't know. I sometimes often say that the more I learn, the worse of a hunter I am. But because I seem like I start worrying about all these other things that I used to never worry about.
Right.
I would be successful, um, not worrying, than I have been. I'm a worry wart, so I start trying to throw. I often think that deer hunting is about 70% luck and the rest skill. Um, Being in the right spot at the right time, having the deer on your property. I feel like a lot of the deer hunting is done before you ever got in the stand.
Right.
So getting making sure your property is going to hold deer. That seems to be what I focus on more, is trying to get those deer into smaller plots of land. It's want to come back there. That's something I've definitely worked on the past few years versus, I used to not worry about that. And I tried to just be better in the stand. And I thought, well, if I stay still better and all this other stuff, the fact is you're not going to kill a giant unless a giant's there. So
Right.
it doesn't matter how good of a hunter you are. If you're hunting 5 acres of land and you don't have a buck that comes through there often or comes through there at all, you're not going to shoot a big buck. So what I try to do is the best I can to give, if a deer does travel through there, whether it be the rut or whether it be whatever, he kind of sees, hey, I got food, I got water, I got shelter, I got whatever else I need here. So that's what I kind of look for, and has been kind of my I don't know, maybe my main practice on what I've been working more towards than the worrying about the thermals and all of that stuff, even though it is something I still want to learn.
Yeah. Well, when you think about it, heat rises, the ceiling's always hotter than the floor, when it's, no matter what you're doing. And
Right.
when you think about it, because at night, it's all basically the same temperature. What happens first thing in the morning? The sun comes out, heats the top of the mountains. So that's warm. So any warm air is going to start flowing to the top. And in the reverse, when it's cooling off, it's cold at the top of the mountain. So then it's going to go to the heat's going to go down.
Right.
Just like when you ever been riding on a motorcycle and summertime and it's, getting towards the evening and you got just t-shirt on and you go down in the hill and all of a sudden it gets cold.
Right. Right.
And then it's like, okay, I gotta get top of the hill. I'm cold. And then you're
Right.
warm, then you going up and down. It always seems like go down the bottom, it's cold, when you're out at night.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. In Georgia, when I'm hunting, urban areas, I don't really worry about that stuff.
Right.
Um, but like I said, hunting Tennessee, I'm out there in those farmlands and in the mountains. And I do start worrying about as far as like, where am I going to hunt in the morning? Do I need to hunt up the hill or do I need to hunt down the hill first thing in the morning? Um, and I started kind of figuring that out last year, and ended up losing that property to hunt. So now I'm kind of back in the urban areas of Chattanooga.
Oh,
But yeah, I mean, it was still just something though. It was just kind of like, man, I wasn't seeing any deer for a while, and then I started trying to learn, you know, do I need to be here? Do I need to be there? It's not that my cameras were not showing me deer. It just seemed like I was never in the right spot at the right time. So, trying to figure out the proper movements, that was key. So that's what I worked on and learned a lot from that period, but still just it's just something to put in the old knowledge bag, just something to carry with you in the long run later.
yeah, something to think about, if you're in mountainous areas, here in Nebraska, most of ours is fairly flat, so we don't have to worry about that. But
Right.
there are places where there's some hills that you might have to think about it. And, that's something that, here we don't really think too much about. We just worry about which the wind direction.
Yes. Yeah, that's the same with Illinois. I mean, it's pretty much flat and big open skies, and at least where I hunted, and I just focus on that wind because it doesn't stop. It
No,
blows. If they say, that's the thing about the difference between the Midwest hunting versus the South hunting. They could tell you have a northwest wind in the South, and if you're in the mountains, go ahead and take that and throw it out the window. Anybody that says that they hunt the wind in North Georgia or North Alabama or South Tennessee, they're full of it. They can't hunt the wind. That wind hits them mountains and it goes this way, that way. You never know where that wind's going to blow. It'll swirl on you. I mean, I hear, I've heard, and I'm going to refer back to Mark Drury. He talks about he likes an 8 to 10 mile an hour wind. No, I do not like an 8 to 10 mile an hour wind. Not in Georgia, because that means that wind is going to be swirling my scent. Every deer that comes within 100 yards is going to smell me somehow. So the best doesn't, and even it doesn't even matter how high I get. It's still, it just, the wind blows every direction. You never know where it's going to go. So I
Right.
kind of stopped worrying about hunting the wind anymore. Really just take care of your scent control the best you can, and best of luck to you. That's all I can say.
Well, and I go through, use the soaps that, scent eliminating soaps. And then I also wear a charcoal suit.
A
There's,
charcoal suit. I've never heard of
yeah.
that.
Well, scent blocker, scent lock.
Okay.
That's just an activated charcoal, as well as
Okay.
your chem suits. I started off with a British chem suit because they're thinner than the US ones. And
Right.
that's all I wore. And what it does, it absorbs your scent. And
Okay.
because they're used for chemical warfare to absorb the chemicals before it gets into you. Well,
Oh, wow.
the activated charcoal will do that.
Right.
And the first time I used one that I really knew how well it really worked, we was out deer hunting in early season, and it was hot. In the morning it was okay, but afternoon hunt, you know, late September, it's still hot here in Nebraska.
Right.
And I was out and I knew it was hot, so I wore a t-shirt and my shorts. I didn't put my camel clothes on or nothing because I knew I was just going to be dripping wet otherwise because it was just too warm. And I had
Right.
that on, and I'm pulling it off, and I'm still sweating in there with it on there. So I'm pulling because it was a pullover one. I'm pulling it off, and I figured, when you pull off stuff you've been sweating in for a few hours, you always got to smell. Well, I'm pulling it off, and it's like, this smells like distilled water. There's no smell at all.
Right.
I was like, oh, okay, that really does work.
Yeah. Yeah, I got you. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, man. I wear boots 98% of my life. Um, I've used many different scent away sprays, I've used scent away brand, scent killer, all these different things. And I've used, I like Desperado. I like Nose Down. I like both of their kind of scent aways, or their scent eliminating sprays. Um, but honestly, Deception, I don't know if you've ever heard of that company. Deception has a spray that, I don't know, man. I sprayed it in my boots, and brother, I'm talking about, my wife was happy. Like, like she was like, wow, that works. I mean, it eliminated the smell of dirty feet. And I'm like, if it can do that, um, then I can imagine what it could do to any other smell. Um, but yeah, for something that works, I say that Deception stuff is pretty cool. Definitely worth checking out. But yeah, like I said, I mean, I've got many different scents and stuff like that I use. A lot of people say they don't work. I believe that they do work. As far as the scent eliminating sprays, but the Deception, like I said, the Deception is my favorite.
Yeah, I had one when I had my store. A chemist for Berkeley come up with something called Descent, and one of the demos he did is take the big fat markers, and wipe it on the paper, and just a fat mark, and then you smell it and spray stuff on it. Couldn't smell it, took to smell it because it chemically altered it. Where a lot of them
Yeah,
are cover up or something, but that was pretty good. And then it got to where he had to shut it down because Berkeley, he got big enough. Berkeley said, you can either be a chemist for us or do that. And of course, yeah, a chemist for Berkeley is going to make a whole lot more than he would of making his scent control stuff. But
right.
you talked about descent here, or deception. I'm going to, for those that are still watching, we're going to take a look. Here's the what you're talking about, right?
Yes. So the coolest thing about their stuff is that, like, they have a bottle that you can put, and it's got a powder, and you can mix that powder into your 30-ounce spray. And
Right.
dude, I'm talking about you can kind of, it's just awesome. You don't even have to pour the whole thing in there. You mix it in with water and it really works. You can put half your little bag of powder in there and make a couple of sprays out of a couple of different bottles out of the same stuff. And it, like I said, it actually works really good. I really like them. They've got some stuff for marine and all that stuff. I've actually seen it up at like Sportsman's Warehouse. Um, I just really like the product in general. I really like that I haven't really used any of their attractant sprays, but their scent eliminator, it works really great. If I was going to go with your as far as attractant sprays, I really like Desperado, Nose Down Scents. Those are both really good companies, local companies to the North Georgia, Southeast Tennessee areas. Both of them really great owners, great guys. Desperado has game calls where they can make turkey calls, stuff like that. They're really cool, handmade. Love it. Southern Bones Outdoors is actually going to have some signature style turkey calls and grunt calls coming from them. So if you want to show your support for Southern Bones, definitely go check them out. But yeah, man, a lot of great. It's one of the things I love about trade shows. You go there, you meet a lot of really, really great people. And it kind of goes back to that Urban Archery Outfitters, so the outdoors thing that we were talking about earlier, is that, we want to show that support to the mom and pop stores of the hunting industry, because to be real, they're the backbone of it.
Right.
They're the ones that are constantly trying to create new products, and there's so many incredible products out there right now, and we're trying to be pretty much a part of all of them, and try to get that word and spread the love around, and trying to market for those guys to get those companies in everybody's hands, or at least the name, to where everybody knows who they are. Doing that while doing that for ourselves with Southern Bones Outdoors and Thrill of the Outdoors, stuff like that.
Yeah, there's just so many things now, just the amount of change that there has been recently in attractants and cover-up scents and just everything else. When I first started, there was none of that. There wasn't any cover scents. I can remember, hearing stories, Fred Bear, blue jeans and a plaid shirt. That was his hunting outfit. Every picture you see of him, he's got a plaid shirt on and jeans. Now we all have to have camo that matches, and
Yeah. Heck, I said it earlier. I still think I have more luck if I was in my regular clothes when I go hunt in some of these urban areas.
oh, you have to try it sometime and see.
Hey, I might make an episode this year where Chris Cannon, urban hunting, suburban areas, regular clothes. Let's see how it works.
Yeah.
No cover scents, no nothing. Just go out there and blue jeans and a t-shirt and see what happens.
Just do the appropriate washing before you go out, and
Yeah.
That'd be an interesting episode. It's like,
yeah, just
what
go
is it? I
see.
could just go out.
Just go see what happens. I actually a couple years ago, I made a little funny video. I didn't share it to many people, but I walked out on my mom's back porch. I was house sitting for her. Walked out on her back porch, and standing about 30 yards off the porch was a deer. I was in a t-shirt and shorts. I grabbed my bow and I shot that deer. I said, this is my new urban wear. It's just, I was wearing my Crocs. I just had woke up, first thing in the morning, walked outside, smoked, looked to my left. There's a deer standing there. I walked back in the house, grabbed my bow, came out, shot that deer and videoed the whole thing. So, it was
hunting season, and as long as you can legally shoot there, go right ahead, right?
Right. I was like, hey man, I'm good here. So I was seasoned, everything, tag, rope, meat in the freezer.
Yeah. Didn't even
I was
have to
like,
leave your house.
didn't even have to leave. Yeah, I was just like, well, this is the easiest hunt ever.
Yeah.
If it could all be like this, we'd be good. I wouldn't be so daggum restless during deer season.
Yeah. Well, it's been great having you on. There's a lot of good information had in there, and I'm kind of looking forward to, seeing where you're going to take all these endeavors you're in, and I think it's gonna be really good for the archery world and the hunting and fishing. All just the outdoor sportsmen's. I think this is going to be a real good help for them to get into that. So yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to seeing where this is going.
I appreciate that, and we're looking forward to it as well. And if anybody wants to show, like I said, anybody wants to sign up or show support, you can check out urbanarcheryoutfitters.com, Southern Bones Outdoors. Smash that subscribe button, hit that bell notification so you don't miss any of the stuff we got going on. And I'm going to share this podcast on there if you don't mind. Like I said,
No,
that way any of our stuff they can see your stuff. Archery Talk 101 has been pretty good. I've been watching you actually for a little while now, so I appreciate you reaching out.
yeah, it's a lot of fun. My goal is to talk to as many archers as I can, all over the world.
Well, that's awesome. That's awesome.
And if you can't speak English, we'll find a translator. If not, then Google Translate. We can translate back and forth.
Yeah, speaking of that, Southern Bones has actually got a Spanish version as well. So check out Southern Bones Outdoors in Espanol. So it's on YouTube as well.
Well, that's cool for those that don't speak English.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, it's been great having you on, and I'm looking forward to getting together with you some more in the future. And definitely when we get a little bit more, let's get together, and when you get it a little bit more, to give a kind of an official launch of your app and everything else, and we'll get something going with that.
Awesome.
Get people signed up.
Yeah, I appreciate it, brother. And yeah, I look forward to it, talking to you in the future.
Yeah. We'll definitely talk again.
All right, sounds great.
Yeah. My name is Roy Canterbury. I've been host today on Arch Talk 101, and stay tuned for the next episode. There's more exciting stuff coming.